Hi guys, and welcome to another review. As you guys know, I don't usually review a lot of TWSs, or very few, but that doesn't mean I don't own or I don't listen to them and I don't have some preferences or some recommendations to make. This particular review is mainly focusing on SOUNDPEATS, specifically on two models, which is the Air4 Pro and the Engine 4, and how then these two stack up against a few other TWSs which I consider are relevant. The Soundcore, the Liberty 4 NC, the Mellow Buds from QCY, the Air4 Free Pro 3, the Air4 Free Air Pro 3, and the Edifier TWS1 Pro 2. Anyway, let me just then give you a little bit of an overview and so that you understand how we reached these two IEMs, or how these two IEMs come to be. Obviously, all of them here are priced under $100. There are other more expensive ones. SOUNDPEATS only has the Opera 5 as a more expensive or over $100 unit, but that one didn't make sense to be here in this comparison. Anyway, starting on the top there, we've got the Life, which is a cheaper TWS. It actually was the very first one that I bought from SOUNDPEATS, and you know, for the price of $25 that it costs, it is a TWS that I regularly use to go to the work, to the gym and work out with. I'm not really worried that it's going to get damaged or anything of the sort. We're talking about a TWS which, obviously being an older, has older connectivity, Bluetooth 5.2. The codecs is only SBC and AAC. The battery life is also a little bit more on the modest side, 4 hours of battery life, 20 hours with the case. But it does have ANC, and the ANC actually works okay. It's not great, but it actually works okay. As for the sound, it's not a bad sound, bassy, and it needs a little bit of treble, but since it does have the app and you can adjust it with the app, it actually works out to actually be a nice or decent sounding TWS. Let's obviously forget from this equation, soundstage and that kind of things. I mean, I think the TWSs have evolved tremendously, and there are a few here which you can already kind of expect those characteristics. But the reality is, or at least for me, I look at this as, does it sound half decent? Does it sit in my ears decently? And does it have a half decent battery life and call quality? That's basically the things that I look for. So does it sound good? Does it fit good? And can I do some calls and people will hear me and I'll hear them. The Life is a stem style, which you either like or you don't like. And when it comes to the fit, it actually is pretty decent. The call, it's okay, it's fine. It doesn't bug me. Like I said, for the $25, it's non-offensive. So this is the Life. Next to that, we have one which is a more recent launch, which is the Clear. This one already has Bluetooth 5.3. It still maintains the same SBC and AAC codecs. We're talking about a $29 price tag, so but it does have 7 hours of battery life, 40 hours in total. No ANC as compared to the Life, no ANC. But in terms of the sound, the bass is a little bit boosted, as is on the Life. But overall, since the app is okay and you can adjust it, it is capable of finally, ultimately you extract a slightly better sound than the Life. Then the call quality is also improved. Really, the difference between this and the Life is the fact that it doesn't have ANC, but it is, you could consider an update or an upgraded Life, in my opinion. It also is nice that it has this kind of transparent, let's see if this thing will focus here. First, there we go. It's got this transparent vibe going, so you can see inside. Sorry about that. Doesn't seem like it wants to focus because it doesn't want to focus, right? No, it's not going to focus. Doesn't look like it. And I guess it's down to the. Oh, there we go. Yes, there we go. It's got this transparent vibe going, which is quite cool. Anyway, the focusing here is not helping me out. I apologize. it's a nice little, you know, for 29 bucks that it costs, it's fine, non-offensive. Okay, next to that we have the H1, which is again an older unit. We're talking about maybe going back to maybe 3 years, even 2 years easily. 5.2 Bluetooth connectivity, aptX adaptive, so you can expect some really good sound quality, and it does have really good sound quality. This is one of those TWSs that I was mentioning earlier on, that you can kind of really start talking about, all right, let's see how the soundstage is and all of those things. It's got 10 hours battery life and 40 hours in total. The app also is working, but the app is somewhat more limited with the case of the H1 in terms of the EQ bands that you have. But I mean, the reality is this: it's been very nicely tuned. It's got this kind of more traditional IEM looking shape, so it fits beautifully. No issues with the fit. It's got a really good sound. Bass, the clarity, the mids are fantastic. The treble is also pretty decent. Could do with a little bit more energy, but it's pretty decent. Overall, the sound is its forte. Definitely, the sound is what it does well. The call quality is okay. It's fine. It's I would say just slightly above the clear, not that much better than the clear. But here the premise has been sound quality, and definitely the sound quality and the fit are excellent. And I actually like using these when I just go for a walk and so on like that. So that I'm not working out. I'm not worried about sweat and so on and so forth. So I like these TWSs for that. Okay, on the second row we have the Capsule 3. And the Capsule 3 Pro, and the Air 3 Pro, they came out at more or less about the same time. And you can kind of say that they share some genes, some commonality. They are both stem style, as you can see. Actually, let me open up here. They're both stem style, all right. And the differences that exist between the Capsule 3 and the Air 3 Pro are differences mainly in the Bluetooth. The Air3 Pro is for 5.2. This is a 5.3. This uses aptX adaptive, that uses LDAC in terms of the codec. Battery life, the Capsule 3 Pro is the better one, 6 hours, 40 hours in total. This is 5 hours and 20 hours in total. The ANC here is okay. The ANC there is very decent, and also very good sound quality, call quality here. The call quality here on the Air 3 Pro is so. It's okay. Nothing really spectacular. But then in terms of the actual sound quality, the Air 3 Pro takes the win over the Capsule. So you could say that in terms of the ANC performance and the call quality performance, the Capsule 3 Pro is the better of the two. In terms of the sound quality performance, the Air 3 Pro is the better. In stock format, this one already sounds better, and then once you are able to EQ it slightly and adjust it a little bit more, this one does come out on top. The Capsule 3 Pro does have, that's why I've actually got two of them here, does have a version which came out later this year, which is this transparent version, which looks very cool. I mean, I bought it just based on that, to be honest. It looks really nice. And if I was to buy a Capsule 3, if I was looking for a Capsule 3 Pro, honestly, this is the one I'd go for. It just looks very cool. Okay, so that's these three covered, which now leaves us then with these three. Over here, I've got the Mini Pro HS. And the difference between the Mini Pro HS and the Mini Pro, the normal one, is that this has LDAC. Okay, that's the only difference. It's 5.2, 6.5 hours of battery life, 22 hours in total. The ANC on this is also very good. The fit is where I would say you have some problems because of the way they are, the shape that they are. They can be a little bit problematic, all right? in terms of the fit, and I did find a bit of an issue with the fit. And for example, if I try and work out with them, they are not ones which will stay on, and I'll leave them on, while any of the other ones, well, except for the H ones, but the other ones that I've mentioned so far, the capsules, the live, the clear, the Air3, if I work out with them, because of the stem and the way they are, it fits beautifully. The issue here with the Mini Pro HS has to do with the ANC and how it affects the sound quality. So ANC usually introduces an EQ shift, which means when you put on the ANC, it changes slightly the EQing so that it can counteract bass loss or mids and highs, so that they can cover basically the noise that they are trying to take away. And on the Mini Pro, when you have the ANC on, it actually sounds more balanced than when you have the ANC off, and the difference is very, very significant. I mean, with the ANC off, you have excessive amounts of bass, which ultimately you will have to adjust slightly. If you have it on, that bass gets reduced, the mids get a bit of a boost, the treble gets a bit of a boost, and it just sounds overall nicer. And it's something that, for example, doesn't affect the Air3 Pro as much, doesn't affect the Capsule 3 Pro as much, but on the Mini Pro HS, it does affect it quite significantly. Okay, so that's all of those covered. Now onto these two, which are, let's say, the star of the show. The Engine 4 is, in essence, you could say, a upgrade on the Mini Pro HS philosophy. It also has the same kind of shell, okay, but it's a little bit, it's ultimately the same size, but it's got the same kind of shell, but a little bit bigger. And with that comes straight away the same issue as I found on the Mini Pro HS. Oops, let me just put this thing in properly. Which is, in terms of fit, for me personally, it takes a little bit of really finding the right position and making sure it stays put. It's not a TWS that I use for working out, because it just continuously pops out. Now, what is then the feature that makes this stand out? It is, well, there are more than one. The first feature is the battery life. It's got 12 hours on the buds and 43 hours in total. So in terms of battery life, it is absolutely humongous. Okay. It's got LDAC and the Bluetooth 5.3, so straight away those are two indicators that the sound is going to be good, and the sound quality of the Engine 4 is probably the best of all the SOUNDPEATS TWSs. Even compared to the Opera 5, I don't consider the Opera 5 to have a better sound than this. Okay, the sub bass on this is excellent. The transition into the mid bass is flawless. I mean, really, really good mid bass. Mids are probably the star of the show. That treble is the only area where it could do with a little bit more treble, as it is a little bit on the very overly smooth side, but non-offensive in any way, and easily fixed with the app. So you just adjust it slightly, and it becomes just spot on. I can even, if you guys are interested, I can give you my own EQ that I use on this. Not a problem. As for the call quality, it's decent. I would say the call quality here is almost on the level of the Capsule 3 Pro in terms of sound quality, superior to the Air3 Pro. So this, so far out of all of them, is without a doubt the best one. Only the H1 is the one that can maybe in certain occasions keep up with this in terms of the sound quality. Okay, and then brings us finally here to the Air4 Pro. And the Air4 Pro is in essence, the same thing as the Engine 4 in its attempt at performance that it wants to get out of the sound, but it adds the ANC, and the ANC on the Air4 Pro, it's the best ANC out of all of the well, in my opinion, out of all of the SOUNDPEATS stuff. I mean, it is really, really very competent. You know, it blocks everything properly. The EQ shift is basically non-existent in my opinion. It's very, very good ANC. And when I say it's very good, I mean it is superior to the SOUNDPEATS by quite a margin. It's superior to as well the Capsule 3 Pro, which as I mentioned earlier, was probably one of the ones that had one of the most competent ANCs out of all the SOUNDPEATS so far. So in terms of ANC performance, you know, the noise cancelling performance on here is spot on. Sound quality, there's a lot of similarities on the bass on the bass settings between the two, with the Engine 4 just slightly edging it out. So there was maybe there is a common tune here, and with the app you can make it sound as good, if perhaps not even maybe slightly edging out the Engine 4 on occasions, especially in terms of the treble. I found that I could somehow get the Air4 Pro to sound just a little bit better in the treble than on the Engine 4. But I mean, honestly, these three in terms of sound quality are very, very good, very good. I mean, there is really not much difference between them in stock, in their stock setting. The differences will be differences that will exist basically on how well you can fit any one of them. Okay. And it's interesting because they've all got different styles. That's the stem. This has got that more kind of I don't know what to call this format, and then the H1 has got that kind of more traditional IEM style. So the changes then occur is when you start EQing. That one there is limited by what you can do with the EQ via the app, so you know, it's a pity. The app here on these two can work better, and you know, you just need to boost slightly the treble there on the Engine 4 to make it sound absolutely spotless. And on here again, it's just basically on the treble that it needs just a little bit of a touch, and it also in my opinion becomes faultless. Anyway, this is the SOUNDPEATS stuff. How does it then, or how do then these two, which is mainly what I want to, let me just shift these ones out of the way here, because this is not important. How do these two then compare to some of the current TWSs, which are you can say references? Well, let's compare it here. Okay, let's start with the Engine 4. Engine 4 compared with, well, we mustn't forget first of all the price. I mean, this is a $55 TWS. The Air4 is a $79 TWS. So when I'm comparing something like this, which costs $55, and I'm comparing it, for example, with the Liberty 4MC, it is not a fair comparison. I mean, sound-wise, they can still trade some blows, but ultimately, in terms of the features, the amount of customization that the sound core, you know, the Liberty 4 allows for, you know, this has got probably one of the best ANCs. Actually, one of the best, you know, active noise cancelling out there as well. It is not a fair comparison. So obviously, this is the winner, and it's just in the sound that you can maybe get these two to trade some blows. So ultimately, the price is justified. But when I compare it to the QCY, the Mellow Buds, Again, the biggest thing here is the lack of features on the Engine 4 as compared to the QCY. The QCY has got, fine, it might not have the same the same battery life or anything, but it's got a very nice app with excellent controls. It's got SBC and AAC, fine, but that doesn't really hinder it in terms of the sound. Fine, the Engine 4 it's got a better sound. This has got excellent ANC. It is I guess because of this also costing $49, I guess it's an easier comparison to do. This is feature packed, this has got excellent sound, so it depends what you want. I personally feel that the features that this offers over the sound quality that it loses to the Engine 4 makes this the better option as well. The fact that this has got the more stem style shape, so again fit is going to be probably easier for many more people. All right, so that's that one out there. Compared to the edifier, the TWS1 Pro 2, they kind of have again that same, I don't know what to call this shape. But the shape and the fit on the edifier is superior, definitely. It's got the best ANC, on par with the ANC of the Liberty 4 out of all of these TWSs that I've selected. So ANC, if it's important for you, excellent. Battery life is 6 hours and 24 hours in total, so it loses in battery life. Where does this lose then? It is in the fact that it's got very poor controls, although it's got Bluetooth 5.3 and an SBC, which again are not helping out in terms of the overall sound quality. The reality is that it's been very decently tuned. It's no match in terms of sound quality to the Engine 4, but it does have decent sound quality. Again, what happens here is very much what happens with the QCY. This is feature packed, excellent ANC, fits very well. This has got better sound quality and better battery life, so it ultimately will be which one you will want. Although here the fact that the fit is also slightly superior, I think this is also something that maybe will probably appeal to more people. Okay, so I don't want to sound like, oh, okay, the Engine 4 is getting beaten now for left, right, and center. No, it's, well, with the sound core, with the Liberty 4NC, it's just not a fair comparison because of the price difference. But with the QCY and with the edifier here, they are priced within more or less the same. The thing is, this has got just very good sound quality going for it. The rest of the features, in terms of the fit and the, it just lacks there. Okay, it's just sound quality. As compared then to the Air4 Free Pro 3 and the Free Air 3, the Air4 Air Pro 3, these two. Again, very much the same situation as we've encountered before with regards to the Liberty 4NC. I mean, these are feature packed. Both of these have got features like, you can basically do whatever you want. The EQ capabilities that you have here and the customization in that aspect is phenomenal. The Free Pro 3 especially, I mean, this is $69. I've seen it as low as $59. The price difference that exists here, it's honestly a no-brainer. I've got all of the Air4 stuff, and I've always been a very big fan of Air4 and the Phil, which is also basically the same thing. It's just the Chinese, let's say, in domestic market version. Sound quality of these things is surreal. Already the stock format, it's perfect, and then it's got loads of presets which you can still adjust those presets, which is a nice feature. You can do it's got Olaf's, which is a collaborator, a fellow reviewer that has collaborated with Air4 over the years to bring out even better sound quality here from the Free Pro 3. So it is just a superior TWS. Like I've mentioned before, it's not maybe 100% fair for me to be comparing them, but that's it. It is just better. So the one thing that it does well, let's just leave it at that. It is just a better TWS. I don't want to beat too much the engine 4, otherwise you guys will say it's a massacre. The same thing applies here to the Air Pro 3. Okay, as for the Air 4 Pro, here things change quite significantly, and it's no longer the continuous massacre, let's put it that way, that some of you might think that was with the engine 4. That really, the engine 4, it's just its sound that has its forte. The Air 4 Pro does already have all the features that are lacking there, and it couples those features as well with an equally as good sound. If I take the Air 4 Pro and I compare it here with the edifier and with the QCY, and I'm going to do these two first. With the edifier, it is just superior because it's just the edifier's ANC that's better. But sound wise and customization and everything, this is just better than the edifier, so the edifier stands no chance. Compared to the QCY, they are more evenly matched. Why? Because although the QCY doesn't have any fancy codecs, it's just SPC and AAC, while we have the aptX lossless here on the Air4 Pro. It's got an app and the ability to customize that app, which is far superior to SOUNDPEATS. So I would kind of say that these two are a tie. What this does in terms of sound just slightly edges out that, okay? Because you can also customize this to sound profile to be really decent, really decent. So I would say these two are kind of evenly matched. The one thing that the QCY does have going very good for it is its price, which is $49, which it is a little bit cheaper than the Air4 Pro. But here I would say these two are very evenly matched. Compared to the Airfun stuff, let me get them here. Put this away a little bit so we got some space. Compared to the Airfun stuff, compared to the Airfun models that I've selected, and how does then the Air4 Pro match up? Well, compared here to the Free Pro 3, obviously we've got this different form factor, which you either like the stem or you like this form factor. But the reality is this alternative form factor here, it is. I personally feel that it fits perfectly and I don't have any issues with it. So it's going to be a difficult one here to kind of choose. But in terms of customization, the Airfun Free Pro 3 and the Air Pro 3 as well, they are superior to the Air4 Pro. They've got more features, especially the EQ versatility is very significant. And the fact that you have all these settings that presetting, these presets, that you can even adjust those presets as well. And you've also got the presets from Olav, which is a fellow reviewer that has collaborated for quite a few times already with Airfun and adjusting their sound from the time of the original Airfun, the 3 Pro, the original one, to then the 3 Pro 2, and now to the 3 Pro 3. Customization, this is just superior. In terms of the ANC, I would probably say they are more evenly matched. They kind of evenly match each other. There's no real, at least I didn't really see a winner between the two of them. And then in terms of the sound quality, I'm going to give the sound quality as well kind of a very similar situation, in very similar sound in the stock format. But then once you start messing around and trying to extract the ultimate performance, the Free Pro 3 does edge out the Air4 Pro. The Free Pro 3 also has one detail, which is the fact that the price is $69. So it's not that it's a massive difference to the Air4 Pro, but with some sales that have been going on, this has been done to as low as $59. So it's got that going for it. Ultimately, at the end of the day, personally, me, I would choose the Air4, but that's just me. But they are both very, very competent. Even the differences in sound that exist are not huge differences in sound. The differences in the ANC performance and so on as well, not huge differences. Excuse me. The biggest difference then will be really in terms of the customization, and kind of very much what I've said here for the Free Pro 3 applies itself as well to the Air Pro 3. Customization wise, yes, ANC, I would say, ANC, I will give the ANC to the Air4 Pro. It's got better ANC. And in terms of the sound quality, I'll also give the sound quality to the Air4 Pro. So okay, to be fair, to be totally fair, I would say this is superior to the Air Pro 3, but not superior to the Free Pro 3. Okay, so it does have at least, let's say, 2-3 wins and one kind of tie so far. Compared finally here to the Liberty 4 NC, the from Soundcore. I mean, this is probably the reference at under $100. It is $99. I've seen it down to as low as 89. So it is the most expensive. It again, stem style. It's got this cool case, as you can see. Without a doubt, the Air4 Pro has put up a very good fight, and out of all the stuff that they've launched so far, which has this form, this style of stem, the Air3 Pro, the capsules, this is the one that has put and has given us the best performance without a doubt. However, that performance still hasn't been enough, in my opinion, to edge out the Liberty 4 NC. I mean, the Liberty 4 NC in terms of noise cancelling, it is better. It's got a better noise cancelling than the Air4 Pro. In terms of the customization, it's the best out of all of them, probably. Very likely the best out of all of them, with, I would say, the Free Pro 3, the Air4, and the HT05, the Mellow Buds from QCY, a very close. These two are very close second, and then you could say maybe the Air Pro 3, and then finally the Air4 Pro. And in terms of the sound, yes, this does have a very good sound. In stock format, when you listen to one and the other, there are occasions where, yes, the Air4 Pro does edge out the Liberty 4. I'm not going to deny that. But once you start EQing slightly the things to really tailor and adjust them to your liking, and the fact that this does have that Hear ID, which works very, very well. It's the latest version of that Hear ID. Not only does it runs the tests, but then it also gives you the preference for you to choose which way you like more the sound. Excuse me. This just edges out then the Air4 Pro in terms of sound performance. The bass is very, very good. In terms of the bass, it is excellent. The mids are clear. I mean, honestly, going back to what I was saying earlier in the beginning, there are one or two TW, well, not more than one or two, it's a figure of speech, TWSs here that you can start considering things like sound quality. Definitely, yes, the H1 is one of them. Yes, the Engine 4 is another. The Free Pro 3 is another, and the Liberty 4 is yet another, with the Liberty 4 probably being the best one out of what I've mentioned of these five, as these five being the more capable sounding ones. Okay, the ones that you can start talking about things of, okay, it's got a sound stage, it's got imaging, it's got those things, and these are really testaments to how good TWSs have become. But the performance in terms of sound of the sound core of the Liberty 4 NC, it is really, really good. I mean, even compared to its bigger brother, the Liberty 4, which is more sound quality focused, this gives it a hell of a fight. Let me put it that way. But anyway, what is important here is how has SOUNDPEATS done with these two TWSs. The Engine 4, in terms of a pure sound quality TWS, very, very good. If only they would really sort out the app and make the app have the level and the versatility and the customization of the Soundcore app, or of the QCY app, or of the Airfun app, then the improvements that these two would make would be phenomenal, without question. And then in terms of the overall sound that they've offered, without a doubt the best that SOUNDPEATS has given us so far. Especially the Air4 Pro in how complete it is. Giving you that good balance of features, ANC performance, transparency performance, customization, fit, battery life, everything. This is honestly the best that they've done so far, surpassing, like I said, even the Opera 5. The Opera 5, in my opinion, doesn't have anything that really truly justifies it to be a better TWS over the Air4 Pro. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little unusual review of mine. I apologize for the confusion in the names, but it is complicated. I mean, it took me four goes to actually make this video, because all the different names, and trying to not get confused, and straight away as well doing such a big comparison, it is not easy, as you guys can imagine. All right. Any questions you might have, please feel free to ask, and I'll do my best to reply. Take care now. Bye bye.